show.
Ooh, that made the flag. That was gangster.
Every once in a while, a rivalry takes center stage and shakes the entire industry from top to bottom. For Drake and Kendrick Lamar, that reality has just become impossible to ignore. Even if you've only casually followed their careers, you probably know they have crossed paths and clashed in subtle ways over the years. However, after Kendrick's show-stopping Super Bowl performance, the tension has reached a new level, so much so that many fans believe Drake has been quietly booted out of certain circles. And now, the internet is exploding with rumors, leaked secrets, and big-name celebrities taking sides. Is this really the end of Drake's reign, or will he fight back to reclaim his spot at the top? Let's dive into every twist and turn that's unfolding behind the scenes. It's easy to forget just how far back the Kendrick-Drake rivalry goes. Years ago, they appeared on each other's tracks, traded compliments in interviews, and even took friendly jabs here and there. But it didn't take long for fans to notice that their respective fan bases were beginning to split into factions. Some declared Drake the reigning king of modern rap, while others believed Kendrick was the more authentic and innovative artist. Over time, subtle digs and verses became more frequent, fueling rumors that the two giants of hip-hop might be on a collision course. Behind the scenes, insiders whispered about deeper betrayals. One rumor claimed that Drake felt Kendrick had disrespected him by referencing him in cryptic lines that listeners interpreted as direct shots. Another rumor suggested that Drake once tried to overshadow Kendrick's new music releases by strategically dropping his own singles around the same time. Neither side ever confirmed these stories, but fans devoured every shred of gossip. Despite the building tension, neither Drake nor Kendrick ever stood on a soapbox and declared all-out war. Instead, they let their music do the talking. Drake's path to global superstardom included crafting pop-infused rap tracks that found widespread radio success. Meanwhile, Kendrick honed a deeper, more conscious style, frequently laced with social commentary. Over the years, their differences in approach, lyrics, and public personas crystallized, leaving the rap community abuzz with speculation. If these two juggernauts truly clashed, who would come out on top? Then came the Super Bowl halftime show, a moment that can single-handedly elevate an artist to legendary status. For weeks leading up to the event, rumors flew about who might take the stage alongside Kendrick. Some believed Drake would make a surprise appearance, putting any lingering feud rumors to rest. Others insisted there was no chance Drake would be caught sharing a spotlight with someone who has so frequently overshadowed him in recent years. When Kendrick finally appeared at the center of the stadium, the entire place erupted. Pyrotechnics, dancers, and the pulsating beat of his tracks commanded everyone's attention. Even those who don't usually follow rap closely could sense something major was happening. Kendrick's performance exuded confidence. There was a certain smugness to his grin, especially when fans noticed a brief pause right after he delivered lines that might have hinted at his rivalry with Drake. Yet, the moment that really set the internet on fire was the realization that Drake was nowhere to be found. There was no cameo, no brief mention, not even a passing reference. For someone as prominent as Drake, who's known for surprising fans at major events, his absence loomed large. Many viewers started to speculate that this was Kendrick's not-so-subtle way of telling the world he could hold down the biggest stage in entertainment entirely on his own. It didn't take long before Hollywood's elite NBA legends and music icons hopped on social media to share their 2 cents. LeBron James took a front seat in championing Kendrick's performance. He posted enthusiastic reactions online, praising the energy and artistry. Observers noticed that LeBron's praise for Kendrick stood in stark contrast to the cold shoulder Drake seemed to be receiving. Even though LeBron never called out Drake by name, the basketball star's allegiances were clear. This wasn't the first time LeBron James publicly leaned toward the Compton rapper. Over the past couple of years, whenever Drake and Kendrick were in the news for conflicting reasons, LeBron typically sided with K-Dot. Another figure showing love to Kendrick was 50 Cent. Known for stirring the pot, 50 Cent didn't hold back. He openly declared that Kendrick was the guy who deserved the Super Bowl halftime slot. Coming from someone who's been part of iconic halftime performances himself, that statement carried weight. And while 50 Cent has worked with numerous artists, he seemed genuinely convinced that Kendrick's moment was proof of a changing tide in rap. Snoop Dogg, ever the West Coast ambassador, also threw in his support. He was captured on camera jamming along to Kendrick's set, proclaiming, "That's gangsta," with a grin that suggested he'd never doubted Kendrick's abilities. The fact that Snoop is a figure who has collaborated with Drake in the past only intensified the sense that the rap community's loyalty was shifting toward Kendrick. Even more surprising were the silent or half-hearted responses from artists who once appeared close to Drake. Tyga, for instance, was spotted nodding his head to Kendrick's track during the halftime show. He later posted a brief clip with no direct mention of Drake, leading fans to wonder if he'd hopped on the Kendrick bandwagon for good. Rumors continued to swirl about whether the bigger story here was the exodus of Drake's former supporters. As soon as the Super Bowl ended, social media practically combusted. Hashtags referencing Kendrick's show soared to the top of trending lists. Fans posted clips of the performance, dissecting every lyric, every dance move, every sideways glance. Kendrick threw at the camera. The big question on everyone's mind, was Kendrick taking a shot at Drake? Or were fans just reading into normal stage banter? Influencers and commentators were quick to offer their perspectives. DJ Academics, who's famously close to Drake, didn't hide his frustration. During a heated live stream, he called out the anti-Drake grifters, accusing them of capitalizing on woke talk to hype up Kendrick's performance. He alleged that people were celebrating the show for reasons that had nothing to do with genuine artistry. Instead, academics suggested it was all a ploy to push Kendrick as the moral and musical superior, ignoring Drake's contributions to the genre. Kai Cenat, or Kai Cena, as some fans accidentally spelled it, also chimed in. He stirred up a mini controversy by claiming parts of the performance were artificially enhanced with fake crowd noise. Kendrick's supporters quickly fired back, labeling Kai a hater who was trying to diminish a historic moment. Unsurprisingly, Drake seemed to endorse Kai's skepticism by liking a video that questioned the authenticity of Kendrick's halftime show. This subtle online nod from Drake added more fuel to the speculation that he felt deeply slighted by the entire event. Across Twitter, fans had a field day posting memes of Drake looking sad, side by side with images of Kendrick on stage. Some joked that Drake was seething at home, penning a 20-minute diss track that would drop any day. Others took a darker view, suggesting that Drake was so deeply hurt by the betrayal of certain celebrities that he might take a long hiatus from music. For a star as expressive as Drake, his relative silence after Kendrick's performance has been intriguing. Normally, if someone so much as throws mild shade at him, Drake is quick to respond, either in cryptic Instagram stories or in an entire track that climbs the charts overnight. This time, though, fans are picking up only subtle hints, liked posts here, a rumor there, and hush-hush reports from acquaintances in Drake's circle. According to industry gossip, Drake is feeling doubly betrayed. First, by celebrities who cheered Kendrick on, and second, by fans who spent years praising him but have now switched sides. There's talk that Drake has reached out to a few longtime collaborators, reminding them of how many times he boosted their visibility. He might be collecting favors or encouraging them to speak up on his behalf. Some say he's also threatening never to give out another feature to artists who haven't publicly supported him during this fiasco. Another rumored sticking point is that Drake once tried to legally prevent Kendrick from performing certain songs or references that might tarnish Drake's reputation. While nobody in Drake's camp has confirmed this, fans are pointing to cryptic statements made by close associates. If Drake did try to restrict Kendrick's freedom on stage, that would only strengthen Kendrick's position as the rebellious underdog, turning the Super Bowl moment into a symbolic victory over censorship. At the heart of all this drama is a single question. Has Kendrick successfully dethroned Drake for good? For years, Drake's commercial dominance was practically unmatched. Radio hits, chart-topping albums, and streaming records proved his mass appeal. On the other hand, Kendrick garnered critical acclaim, with every new project greeted like a cultural milestone. As their styles diverged, fans began to frame the conversation around substance versus accessibility, with Kendrick championing thought-provoking lyricism and Drake blending rap with pop influences. This Super Bowl performance may mark a turning point in the eyes of the public. When millions watch you put on a near-flawless show without needing any special guests, you send a message: I can carry this entire production on my own. For some watchers, that level of boldness sealed the deal. Kendrick, they argue, is not just a great rapper, but a once-in-a-generation artist who can merge mainstream appeal with profound messages. Yet, Drake's supporters remain unconvinced. They point to Drake's massive global following and argue that a single performance, no matter how good, can't erase years of unmatched success. They also note that rap feuds are rarely settled cleanly. It often takes direct confrontation, like a diss track, before fans will concede that one artist truly bested the other. Until Kendrick explicitly calls out Drake by name in new music, or vice versa, some believe the door is wide, open for Drake to stage a roaring comeback. One of the most intriguing aspects of this feud is how it's reshaping dynamics within the rap community. Artists who previously featured on Drake's albums, or who opened for him on tour, might now feel pressure to pick sides. Tyga, SZA, Drake, and Chris Brown have all been spotted praising Kendrick's halftime show, either through social media or by physically being present and showing excitement. For some, this is purely about the music. Kendrick delivered an amazing performance, and they want to celebrate it. For others, it feels like a calculated move to align with the new winning side in rap's ongoing chessboard. Meanwhile, TDE, Top Dog Entertainment, Kendrick's label family, is riding high on the wave of Super Bowl buzz. Members like Drake have expressed open support, reinforcing that their camp is tight-knit and proud. Music producer and mogul Jermaine Dupri even added his voice, praising Kendrick's live performance skills, particularly his breath control and unstoppable energy. On the flip side, OVO, October's very own, Drake's collective, has been noticeably quiet. Drake's close associates apparently watched Kendrick's performance from afar, but offered no public commentary beyond a few cryptic likes or comments. This silence hasn't gone unnoticed. Many speculate that Drake is trying to orchestrate a careful response, rather than say something impulsive in the heat of the moment. There's also talk about future festival lineups and brand deals. Event organizers pay close attention to public perception, so if Kendrick stars on the rise even more than before, he might be the first pick for headlining major shows. Drake may still command a massive audience, but sponsors and advertisers love controversy, especially controversy that draws in curious viewers. If the buzz around Kendrick's Drake dethroning continues, you can bet more corporate dollars will follow him. This shift could spark new friction as the two artists battle for the most lucrative spots in the industry. So, where does all of this leave Drake and Kendrick? On one hand, Kendrick's Super Bowl performance has people talking about him as if he's untouchable, a creative force who's finally taken his place atop the throne. The heavyweights of entertainment, from LeBron James to Snoop Dogg, are celebrating him. Even longtime Drake collaborators are giving Kendrick the nod, fueling the idea that Drake has been left out in the cold. Add in the swirling rumors of lawsuits, off-camera betrayals, and hush-hush backroom deals, and it's clear that this conflict is about far more than just music. On the other hand, Drake is not an artist who fades quietly. He's built his empire by turning personal and professional slights into chart-topping comebacks. If history repeats itself, it's only a matter of time before he responds with a cryptic Instagram story, an exclusive interview that reveals his side of the story, or even a full-blown album that addresses every rumor in scathing detail. His fans are waiting, convinced that the unstoppable wave of Drake mania will return as soon as he decides to step back into the spotlight. For now, though, the rap community can't stop buzzing about Kendrick's triumphant moment. The performance itself was a masterpiece, showcasing not just his lyrical skill, but the raw power of a live set with no gimmicks. If the Super Bowl stage is any indication, Kendrick has the ability to take center stage whenever he wants. The question is whether Drake can outshine that moment, or if he'll become the overshadowed figure in this saga, only remembered for the days when he ruled the charts. Whether you view Kendrick as the new king of rap, or you're holding out for Drake's epic counterstrike, one thing is undeniable: this rivalry isn't cooling off anytime soon. Both artists thrive on creativity and competition, and fans of hip-hop are the real winners here, because high-stakes competition often breeds incredible music. We may look back on this era as the golden age of rap feuds, where two titans battled for the culture's collective heart. So, how do you see it? Did the Super Bowl truly mark the beginning of Kendrick's undisputed reign, or is Drake just biding his time before launching a takeover of his own? The internet is split, and each day brings a fresh wave of rumors, leaked snippets, and bold statements from anyone brave enough to wade into the drama. Until Drake speaks, or raps, his truth, the conversation will only intensify. In the meantime, keep your eyes glued to social media for more cryptic likes and shady posts. Follow the artists you love because the next chapter in this saga could drop at any moment. Rap, at its core, has always embraced rivalries and showdowns. Drake and Kendrick represent two different visions of what hip-hop can be, and the conversation about who deserves the crown might be the most thrilling spectacle in modern music. All we can do is wait, listen, and watch how each move on the board shifts the momentum. For now, Kendrick stands on that Super Bowl stage, soaking in the applause and the praise from nearly every corner of the entertainment world. Drake watches from a distance, quietly fuming or carefully plotting. No one can say for sure. But there's one certainty. Whichever path this rivalry takes, the fallout will keep us all talking, listening, and debating for a very long time. The stage is set, the players are ready, and you won't want to miss what happens next.